Raise your hand if inflation has you stressed about money. Hand with fingers splayed, consumer confidence just dropped 9.8% in February, and it's no surprise. The economy is sending mixed signals, and the warning lights are flashing. Picture this. You're at the grocery store, and your usual cart of essentials suddenly costs 20% more. Frustrating, right? In today's video, I'll share 5 powerful strategies to shield your finances during uncertain times. One of them might surprise you. It's simpler than you think. By the end, you'll have a clear plan to stay ahead, no matter what the economy throws your way. Let's get started. The economic storm clouds gathering over your wallet. Ever feel like your paycheck disappears faster than a free sample at Costco? Here's what's really happening. While the government says inflation is 3.3%, anyone buying groceries or paying rent knows the real number hits harder. Housing costs have jumped 18% in just 3 years, and grocery bills keep climbing even as package sizes shrink. That official rate doesn't reflect the reality most people face. The job market might look strong on paper with 3.7% unemployment, but dig a little deeper, and the cracks start to show. Many of the new hires are in temporary or part-time roles, while full-time positions actually decreased last quarter. Companies are even posting phantom job listings to appear like they're growing, but they're not actually hiring. And those help-wanted signs you see everywhere? They're often for jobs paying less than 2019 wages when adjusted for inflation. It's a job market that looks busy, but leaves workers struggling to get ahead. Credit card debt paints an even bleaker picture. Americans now owe $1.13 trillion on credit cards, the highest ever recorded. Minimum payments on that debt are eating up more of people's take-home pay than at any point since 2008. At the same time, savings rates have plummeted from pandemic highs to just 3.2% of income. When 40% of adults can't handle a $400 emergency, it's not just a statistic, it's a financial warning sign flashing bright red. Student loans are adding fuel to the fire. The restart of payments last year pulled $1 trillion out of consumer spending, like the entire GDP of Florida vanishing from the economy. Retail sales growth even turned negative during the holiday season, not because people wanted to cut back, but because they had no choice. Every direction you turn, it feels like the squeeze is getting tighter. And the bigger picture? The Atlanta Fed's GDP Now tracker predicts the economy shrank 2.4% last quarter. If that holds, it would be the first contraction since the pandemic recovery began. Corporate earnings calls are already hinting at what's next. Companies from UPS to Microsoft are quietly preparing for layoffs by slashing hiring budgets and extending hiring freezes. It's like watching storm clouds gather on the horizon. Your job might feel secure today, but recession layoffs follow a predictable pattern. Middle managers are often the first to go because their salaries cost more. Recent hires are next, followed by cuts to non-essential departments like marketing. And here's the unsettling part. Many companies now rely on algorithms, not managers, to decide who gets laid off, using cold cost metrics to make the call. Your emergency fund needs an upgrade. Here's why. That 3-month emergency fund rule you've heard about? It's outdated advice from a different era. In today's economy, it's like trying to defend a castle with a crumbling wall. It won't hold up when the storm hits. The average duration of unemployment now stretches past 6 months in many industries, with tech and media sectors seeing even longer gaps between jobs. If you're still clinging to the old 3-month guideline, you're leaving yourself exposed to financial disaster. The rising cost of living only makes this more urgent. Rent prices alone paint a stark picture. What used to cover a decent apartment now barely gets you a studio in most metro areas. Grocery bills have followed the same trajectory, with fewer items costing significantly more. These shifts mean your emergency fund needs to be more than a token amount. It has to be a real safety net, capable of withstanding today's financial pressures. High-yield savings accounts are a game changer for building that safety net. With rates above 5%, parking your emergency cash in a regular checking account is like leaving free money on the table. That $10,000 emergency fund? In a high-yield account, it earns you $500 annually just sitting there. In your bank's basic savings? Maybe $20 if you're lucky. The difference adds up fast, enough to cover an extra month's utilities in many areas. The consequences of not having a robust emergency fund are all too real. Take Sarah, for example. She worked in the media industry, and had only 3 months of savings when she was laid off during the pandemic. By month 4, she was relying on credit cards to cover rent and groceries, racking up debt she's still paying off today. Contrast that with her friend Mike, who had saved 8 months of expenses. He used his emergency fund to cover bills, avoided debt, and even had the flexibility to take a lower-paying job temporarily while he searched for the right fit. The difference: preparation. Your ideal emergency fund size depends on 3 factors: job stability, fixed expenses, and backup options. If you work in a volatile industry like tech or media, aim for 8 months' expenses. More stable fields like healthcare or education, 6 months should cover you. The self-employed need 12 months minimum. Client payments always slow during downturns. Calculate your true monthly nut by adding up rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, minimum debt payments, and transportation. Multiply that number by your risk factor. This isn't fun money. It's survival cash for worst-case scenarios. Keep it liquid in that high-yield account we discussed, separate from your daily spending. Some expenses deserve special treatment. If you have a variable rate mortgage or private student loans, pad your fund extra. These payments can spike unexpectedly. Same goes if you're the sole breadwinner or have chronic health issues. The more unpredictable your costs, the bigger your cushion needs to be. Building this fund might feel overwhelming, but the strategy is simple. Automate transfers from each paycheck before you even see the money. Start with whatever you can. Even $50 weekly adds up to $2,600 in a year. Cut one discretionary expense, like that daily coffee run or an unused subscription, and redirect those funds. Sell unused items for quick cash injections. Every dollar moves you closer to security. Think of it as fortifying your castle wall. Brick by brick, you're building a defense that can withstand life's storms. The hidden danger lurking in your debt. That credit card balance you've been carrying? It's costing you more than just interest. It's a financial trap that tightens when the economy shifts. Right now, 10.8% of consumers are making only minimum payments on their cards, the highest rate in 12 years. At an average interest rate of 28.65%, a $5,000 balance could take 22 years to pay off with minimum payments. That's not managing debt, it's sinking into quicksand. The longer you stay stuck, the harder it is to climb out. When recessions hit, creditors act fast. Here's what you need to know. 0% introductory offers vanish. Payment flexibility disappears. Late fees increase. Credit card companies can legally raise your APR if they decide you're a higher risk. During the last downturn, some cardholders saw their rates jump from 15% to 29% overnight. If your income drops while your minimum payments rise, it's easy to get trapped in a cycle that feels impossible to escape. So, how do you break free? Let's talk strategy. The snowball method works because it taps into human psychology. Paying off your smallest debt first gives you an immediate win, something tangible to keep you motivated. Research shows people using this method are 23% more likely to stick with their debt payoff plan compared to other approaches. That momentum can be a game changer when you're trying to undo years of financial habits. On the other hand, the avalanche method focuses on the math. By targeting your highest interest debt first, you save the most money in the long run. Fidelity estimates this approach could save you nearly $12,000 in interest compared to making minimum payments. But here's the catch. It requires intense discipline. Progress can feel slow, and many people give up before they see results. Numbers alone don't account for the emotional toll of debt. That's why a hybrid approach can be so effective. Start with the snowball method to build momentum, then switch to the avalanche method once you've gained confidence. Pay off 2 or 3 small debts first to prove to yourself that you can do it. Then, pivot to tackling your highest interest debt. This way, you get the psychological boost of early wins and the long-term savings of a mathematically sound strategy. Not all debt is created equal, especially when preparing for a recession. Focus first on credit cards and personal loans. These typically have the highest interest rates and the least protection if you hit financial trouble. Next, tackle auto loans, particularly if you're underwater on the value. That car payment could become unbearable if your income drops. Student loans and mortgages usually have lower rates and more flexible hardship options, so they can wait until you've handled the more dangerous debts. Dr. Robert Westcott highlights a critical warning sign. Minimum payments are at a 12-year high. When people can only afford the minimums, They're one missed paycheck away from serious trouble. Break this cycle by paying at least double the minimum whenever possible. Even an extra $50 per month on a $5,000 balance at 28% interest could save you $4,000 in interest and cut your payoff time by 7 years. Debt management isn't just about numbers, it's about emotions too. As the money principle notes, managing the stress, shame, and anxiety that come with debt is one of the toughest parts of building financial resilience. Find someone you trust to keep you accountable, whether that's a financial advisor, a money-savvy friend, or an online support community. Having cheerleaders in your corner makes the journey easier. Creditors have tools they don't advertise, but will use if you ask. Here's what to do. Call your credit card company and request a lower interest rate. It works about 30% of the time. Ask about hardship programs before you need them. Many banks offer temporary payment reductions or rate freezes if you're proactive. Make these calls while you're still current on payments. Once you're behind, your options shrink dramatically. Think of your debt like a ticking time bomb. Track every dollar owed by listing your debts by balance, interest rate, and minimum payment. Update this list monthly. Seeing the numbers go down keeps you motivated. Use a debt payoff app or a simple spreadsheet to visualize your progress. When you can watch your total debt decrease each month, it transforms from an overwhelming burden into a solvable problem. The Citizens Advice website offers free resources for debt management. They can help you understand your rights, negotiate with creditors, and find legitimate assistance programs. Many people don't realize they qualify for debt relief options until it's too late. Spending an hour researching could save you thousands in interest and penalties. Here's the hard truth. Paying off debt feels impossible until you start. The first $100 paid is the hardest. The first $1,000 feels like a mirage. But once you cross the 10% reduction mark, something shifts. You start seeing opportunities to pay more, cutting subscriptions, selling in used items, taking on small side gigs. Progress builds on itself, and one day, you realize you're actually winning. Income streams that thrive when the economy dies. Your 9 to 5 paycheck might feel secure today, but history shows certain jobs always get cut first when the economy turns. Professional services, marketing departments, and middle management positions typically face the deepest cuts. Meanwhile, healthcare workers, government employees, and essential service providers often keep working through the worst downturns. If your job falls in that first category, it's time to build backup plans before the storm hits. To navigate economic uncertainty, diversifying your income streams is key. Let's break this down into 3 categories: freelance services, passive income channels, and essential service side gigs. Each offers unique opportunities to build resilience and create financial stability, even during tough times. Freelance services, adapting to demand. Freelancing platforms often see a surge in activity during layoffs, but opportunities don't vanish, they shift. Specializing in services that businesses need more during downturns can set you apart. For example, bookkeeping, tax preparation, and financial consulting become critical as companies and individuals scramble to manage shrinking budgets. One freelance bookkeeper shared how she doubled her client base during a recession by offering affordable monthly packages to small businesses that couldn't justify a full-time hire. Similarly, tech support and web development remain strong, as businesses still need an online presence even when cutting staff. Positioning yourself as a cost-effective alternative to full-time employees can make all the difference. Education and tutoring also fall into this category. When job markets tighten, parents invest more in their children's education, and adults seek affordable ways to reskill. One online tutor turned her expertise in math into a thriving business by creating pre-recorded lessons and downloadable workbooks, which provided passive income while she continued offering live sessions. Packaging knowledge into reusable digital products like these can create income streams that grow over time. Passive income channels, earning while you sleep. Recessions often spark creativity in finding ways to generate passive income. Self-storage facilities, for instance, quietly thrive during economic downturns. When people downsize their homes but aren't ready to part with belongings, they rent storage units. The industry sees 15% higher returns during recessions compared to growth periods. You don't need to own a facility to benefit. Many operators offer referral commissions for bringing in new customers. Others have found success helping people organize and sell items from their units, turning clutter into cash. Discount retail also offers opportunities for passive income. Dollar stores and bargain outlets outperform traditional retailers when budgets tighten, and savvy side hustlers capitalize by reselling discounted goods online. One entrepreneur built a following by creating content that showed families how to stretch their budgets using dollar store ingredients and supplies. Her videos not only earned ad revenue, but also drove traffic to her online store, where she sold curated budget-friendly kits. The pet care industry, surprisingly, defies economic logic. While families cut vacations and restaurant meals, they continue spending on their animals. Dog walking, pet sitting, and mobile grooming services thrive because people prioritize their pet's comfort over discretionary spending. These services require minimal startup costs, just reliable transportation and basic supplies. One pet sitter shared how she expanded her business by offering package deals for regular clients, ensuring steady income even during uncertain times. Essential service side gigs, meeting immediate needs. Certain industries remain steady or even grow during economic downturns because they address essential needs. Auto repair is one such example. As people delay purchasing new cars, the average vehicle age on the road increases, leading to more maintenance and repairs. You don't need mechanical skills to benefit from this trend. Detailers, mobile repair coordinators, and parts resellers all play a role in this ecosystem. One mobile detailer built a loyal customer base by offering discounted packages for repeat clients, ensuring consistent work even when budgets were tight. Plumbing and electrical work also can't be postponed, as leaky pipes and faulty wiring become safety hazards. Many tradespeople supplement their income by offering free inspections that lead to paid repair work. Others create DIY tutorial content, monetizing through ads and affiliate sales of tools and parts. For instance, one electrician turned his expertise into a YouTube channel where he demonstrated simple fixes for common household issues. His affiliate links for tools generated a steady stream of income, even as his hands-on work fluctuated. Home improvement shifts rather than shrinks during recessions. Instead of full remodels, people tackle smaller DIY projects. Painters find steady work refreshing interiors when moving isn't an option, and handymen focus on essential repairs over luxury upgrades. Bundling services into affordable maintenance packages for landlords and property managers can create a reliable client base. One handyman shared how he secured consistent work by offering seasonal checkups for rental properties, ensuring small issues didn't turn into costly repairs. The common thread, problem solving. The most recession-proof skill isn't coding or accounting, it's problem solving. People who can identify specific pain points during tough times and offer clear solutions always find work. Whether it's helping businesses reduce expenses, showing families how to stretch groceries further, or teaching laid-off workers to market their skills, the key is addressing immediate needs created by economic stress. One financial consultant shared how she built a thriving practice by focusing on debt consolidation strategies for families, helping them regain control of their finances while securing her own. By diversifying your income streams across these categories, freelance services, passive income channels, and essential service side gigs, you can build a financial safety net that weathers any storm. The opportunity, investing like a bank vault, not a casino. Wall Street thrives on panic, but smart investors know volatility isn't danger, it's opportunity. While 80% of day traders lose money during downturns, disciplined investors use the chaos to their advantage. The difference comes down to strategy, not luck. Let's break down how to invest like a bank vault rather than a casino. Dividend aristocrats are the unsung heroes of market crashes. These are companies that have increased dividends for at least 25 consecutive years. Think Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble. During the 2008 crash, this group outperformed the S&P 500 by 17%. Why? Because steady cash payments act like a safety net under stock prices. Even when markets tank, these companies keep sending checks. That consistent income gives you options. You can reinvest when prices are low or use the payments to cover expenses if needed. It's like having a reliable paycheck that shows up no matter what's happening in the economy. Dollar cost averaging is your secret weapon against emotional investing. Instead of trying to time the market, you set up automatic transfers to invest a fixed amount, like $200 every Tuesday, whether the market is up or down. This strategy ensures you buy more shares when prices drop and fewer when they rise, smoothing out the highs and lows. Fidelity found that investors who stuck with automated plans during the 2020 crash recovered faster than those who tried to outguess the market. Think of it as planting seeds regularly in a garden. You don't stop just because it's raining. Over time, the harvest grows. Real estate investment trusts, REITs, with triple net leases are an inflation hedge most people overlook. Companies like Realty Income own properties where tenants cover taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs. These REITs have paid uninterrupted monthly dividends since 1969 because their income adjusts with inflation. When prices rise, so do their lease payments. It's like owning a rental property where the rent automatically increases to match the cost of living, without you having to lift a finger. Energy stocks are often underestimated as defensive plays. Take Chevron, for example. They've maintained their dividend through every modern recession because oil demand never completely disappears. Their integrated business, drilling, refining, and selling gas, creates multiple income streams. Even when oil prices drop, their retail stations still profit from selling snacks and soda. This diversification makes them more resilient than pure drilling companies. Think of them as a Swiss Army knife in your portfolio, versatile and reliable. Consumer staples might seem boring, but they're the backbone of a defensive portfolio. Companies like PepsiCo sell products people buy in any economy: chips, soda, oatmeal. Their portfolio includes 23 brands generating over $1 billion annually. During recessions, consumers might skip restaurants but still buy Doritos at the grocery store. These companies also have pricing power. They can raise prices 5 to 10% without losing customers. That inflation protection keeps profits steady when other businesses struggle. It's like owning a grocery cart full of essentials that never goes out of style. The bond market requires a different approach during volatility. Short-term treasury bills now yield over 5% with near zero risk. Laddering these, buying batches that mature every few months, gives you flexibility. As each batch matures, you can reinvest at higher rates if yields rise or move to stocks if prices drop further. This creates liquidity without locking in long-term rates that might look bad if inflation keeps climbing. Think of it as building a staircase. Each step gives you a new opportunity to adjust your strategy. Gold often gets the spotlight during downturns, but industrial metals like copper and lithium can be even more reliable. These materials are essential for everything from electronics to electric cars, meaning demand stays strong even in tough times. Infrastructure spending doesn't stop during recessions, which supports prices. ETFs like COPX provide exposure without the hassle of storing physical metal. Compared to gold, these metals are like the workhorses of the economy, steady and indispensable. Healthcare stocks are another cornerstone of a defensive portfolio. People get sick in good times and bad, but the key is focusing on companies with essential products. Diabetes supplies, for example, see steady demand regardless of economic conditions, unlike cosmetic procedures. Medical device makers serving aging populations are particularly resilient, as their products are necessities covered by insurance. It's like having a doctor in your portfolio, always in demand, no matter the circumstances. Technology isn't all risky during downturns. Cloud computing and cybersecurity spending often increase as businesses look to cut other costs. Microsoft's Azure and Amazon's AWS become more essential as companies shift from physical servers to the cloud. These are the picks and shovels of the digital economy. Businesses pay for them even when cutting other tech budgets. Think of them as the infrastructure of the internet, quietly powering everything behind the scenes. Utilities are the tortoises of investing, slow but steady. People always need electricity and water, making these companies incredibly stable. Regulated utilities have guaranteed profit margins written into law. Their dividends might not grow fast, but they rarely get cut. During the 2008 crisis, utility stocks fell half as much as the broader market. They're perfect for the portion of your portfolio that needs to stay rock solid, like the foundation of a house. Insurance companies profit from fear. During uncertain times, people actually buy more insurance products, life, health, property. Firms like Berkshire Hathaway float billions in premium dollars before paying claims. That money gets invested in exactly the kinds of defensive assets we're discussing. It's a virtuous cycle where economic worry feeds their business model. Think of them as the safety net of the financial world, thriving when others are panicking. Here's how to tie it all together: the barbell strategy. Allocate 40% of your portfolio to ultra-safe assets like treasury bills and high-grade bonds. Put another 40% in high-quality dividend stocks with pricing power. Keep the remaining 20% in cash to take advantage of opportunities when panic creates bargains. This approach balances stability with flexibility, allowing you to pounce when others are selling in fear. Rebalance quarterly to maintain these ratios automatically. It's like carrying a shield in one hand and a sword in the other, defense and offense working together. Brokerage tools can automate your defense. Set price alerts on stocks you want to own at specific discounts. Use trailing stop orders to protect gains without watching markets daily. Schedule regular portfolio reviews, not to change strategy, but to harvest tax losses that offset gains elsewhere. These small actions compound over time to reduce risk and boost returns. Think of it as tuning up your financial engine to keep it running smoothly. The biggest mistake isn't losing money, it's missing the recovery. Studies show investors who pulled money out during 2008 took an average of 2.5 years to get back in. They missed the best rebound days, permanently reducing their returns. If you must reduce exposure, do it gradually. Trim 5% per month rather than selling everything at once. This prevents emotional overreactions you'll regret later. Remember, the market rewards patience. It's like riding out a storm at sea. Stay the course, and you'll reach calmer waters. The painless budget makeover. Saving money doesn't require drastic lifestyle changes, just smarter choices. The average household wastes $1,300 a year on forgotten subscriptions like gym memberships you stopped using, app trials that auto-renewed, and cloud storage for files you never access. One viewer discovered they were paying for 3 separate streaming services they hadn't watched in months. Take 10 minutes to review your bank statements for recurring charges. Cancel anything you haven't used in 90 days and put the savings straight into your emergency fund. Digital spending leaks can be just as sneaky. Marketing emails are designed to trigger impulse buys, so unsubscribe from them. Delete saved payment info from shopping sites to add a layer of friction to online purchases. One viewer shared how turning off one-click ordering helped them cut their monthly online shopping bill in half. Browser extensions that apply coupon codes at checkout can also help you save without extra effort. These small steps make it easier to avoid unnecessary spending. Grocery prices have jumped 25%, but smart shoppers are paying 15% less than last year. Meal planning is key. It cuts impulse buys by 30%. Start with what's already in your pantry, then build meals around discounted seasonal produce. Store-brand items often come from the same factories as name brands, just without the marketing markup. One family saved $50 a month by switching to store-brand staples like pasta and cereal. Buying whole chickens instead of pre-cut saves $2 per pound, and those savings add up fast. These small swaps can save hundreds per year without sacrificing quality. Your freezer is another powerful money-saving tool. Batch cooking and freezing meals prevents expensive takeout nights. Bread, cheese, and even milk freeze well, so stock up when they're on sale. One viewer shared how they saved $200 a month by prepping and freezing meals for busy weeknights. Restaurants mark up wine by 300%, so buy bottles retail and pay just the corkage fee at BYOB spots. Even coffee brewed at home costs just 20 cents compared to $5 at a cafe. These habits can save the average household $2,000 a year. Energy bills often hide easy wins. Turning down your thermostat by 1 degree saves 80 pounds annually, and switching appliances off standby mode cuts another 40 pounds. LED bulbs use 90% less energy than incandescent ones. If you rent, ask your landlord about efficiency upgrades. Many states require them to cover the cost. Simple fixes like weather stripping doors can lower heating bills by 20%. One viewer reduced their winter energy bill by $150 just by sealing drafty windows. These changes are quick, effective, and painless. Transportation costs can eat into your budget fast, but small adjustments make a big difference. Carpooling twice a week saves $1,000 annually on gas and maintenance. Properly inflated tires improve mileage by 3%. And if you drive less than 10,000 miles yearly, usage-based insurance could cut premiums by 30%. Public transit passes are often tax-deductible. Check your employer's benefits. One viewer saved $200 a month by biking to work 3 days a week. These changes not only save money, but can also improve your health and reduce your carbon footprint. That phone call you've been putting off, it could slash your biggest fixed expense. Internet providers often have unadvertised retention deals. Call and say you're considering switching. They'll usually offer a discount to keep you. The same strategy works for cell plans, insurance, and even some utilities. One viewer saved $600 a year on their bundled services with a single 15-minute call. Always check competitor rates first, so you have leverage. Cash makes you think twice. Studies show people spend 23% less when using physical money instead of cards. Try withdrawing a set amount for discretionary spending each week: coffees, lunches, impulse buys. When the cash runs out, you stop. One viewer shared how this envelope system helped them cut their weekly spending by $50. For online purchases, leave items in your cart for 24 hours. You'll often realize you don't need them. These small habits make a big difference over time. Use doesn't mean worse. Facebook Marketplace and thrift stores offer like new items for half the price. Kids' clothes, furniture, and tools are especially easy to find gently used. One viewer furnished their entire apartment for under $1,000 by buying secondhand and reselling pieces they upgraded later. For items you rarely use, power tools, party supplies, consider renting instead of owning. These strategies keep your home functional without breaking the bank. Coupons and cashback apps aren't just for extreme savers. Apps like Rakuten give real money for purchases you'd make anyway. Stack these with store loyalty programs. Many grocery chains offer digital coupons tied to your account. One family cut their $800 monthly grocery bill to $600 just by using the store app and buying sale items. The key is only clipping discounts for things you actually need. Negotiation isn't limited to car sales. Medical bills often have errors. Ask for an itemized statement and dispute incorrect charges. Hospitals frequently offer 20 to 40% discounts for prompt cash payment. Even credit card late fees can be waived if you call and ask nicely the first time. One viewer saved $300 on a hospital bill by simply asking for a discount. The worst they can say is no, but most companies would rather keep you as a customer. Libraries are an underrated resource. Many offer free museum passes, tools, sewing machines, and even baking pans. Streaming services cost $15 per month, but library canopy accounts provide free movies. Free community classes can replace paid hobbies. One viewer learned guitar through library resources instead of $50 per hour lessons. The key is accessing what's already paid for by your taxes. These small, painless changes can transform your budget without sacrificing your quality of life. By making smarter choices, you'll not only save money, but also build a stronger financial foundation to weather any storm. Here's the truth: recessions wreck unprepared people, not prepared money. The folks who come out ahead aren't lucky. They're the ones who tightened their budgets, boosted their savings, and diversified income before trouble hit. Your move this week? Open that high-yield savings account. Transfer $50. Think of financial resilience like building a brick wall. Each small step is a brick, and over time, it creates a fortress. Financial freedom isn't a salary number. It's keeping that salary when layoffs hit and prices soar. You've got the blueprint. Start today. Lay one brick. Repeat